Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to the beginning of my F1 2018 career mode. So you can see just how happy Lewis Hamilton is about that prospect of being raced by the mighty Super GT. Well, we're going to begin it here and see how we can progress. We're going to choose Force India. Now I thought that was an interesting choice. They used to be the fourth best team, but, well, they were in 2017 officially in the constructors, but now you see they're the fourth worst team. So I think that's going to pose a good challenge for the season, and we're going to go up against Sergio. I think he's a good benchmark, so we're going to be replacing Esteban Ocon.
Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you're very anxious. Data center. Good luck out there today.
I absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with you.
Welcome to the data center. Here, we've got access to all kinds of... The list goes on. We need you to regularly feedback about areas of the car that are lacking, plus direct our resources in the most productive way. More effort here equals a quicker car. Good luck this season. Oh, and make us all look good, okay?
Will do, mate. Love the Australian accent, mate. Right, here we go. There's Sergio. Okay, here we go. This is the hub of information. And, well, we're starting off as a rookie. Is that going to be our first race, first season? Expecting us to finish 14th, which I think is doable. We'll see. R&D, of course, really important in this game. As I said, Force India, now the fourth worst team, officially on this game at least. And you see there's there's a gap actually between myself, McLaren, Haas and Renault. So R&D is going to have to be very, very good throughout the year to try to bridge that gap to the teams above.
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix.
For drivers during pre-practice is in gathering data for
Angry looking guy, this is my driver. That's what he looks like.
Right, try to nail as many corner gates as you can. The faster you get through each corner, the higher the score.
Okay, so lots of R&D development to do. So you've got these little mini games, these little challenges. So the first one, track acclimatization, fairly simple. Driving through the gates as many times, or as quickly as you can. I no doubt you've seen this many, many times. I'm not going to show everything. Can get a little dull at times, but we do our best. You know, if I can't do it, I'm not going to try a million times to do it. I'm just going to accept that I can't sometimes do it.
Great stuff. You've pretty much nailed this circuit. This is a really strong foundation to build from over the weekend.
Okay, so getting purple in track acclimatization. This is, what's this one? The tyre wear. So you're trying to be really, really smooth on the brakes. Make sure you don't lock up, which is really crucial in this game. You see there's just a little bit of a lock up into that turn 15. That can happen. It's very, very slow speed corner. You see I've just about done the job and get across the line with a tenth to spare. So here is my eventual screen. I get, well, all of the points apart from 5. So as I said, I'm not going to go over it a million times to get every point. I'm going to try and be kind of realistic with it. So, you know, if I can't do it within a reasonable amount of time, I'm not going to try 2 billion times to get every single point. Because, you know, in Formula 1 it's not an ideal world all the time. You don't always get all the points. Another thing to practice is the pit entry. So you can really lose a lot of time here if you brake too early. And of course if you get a penalty by going way too deep.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly.
So here we are then. This is the first qualifying lap. Let's see what we can do. So Q1, fairly simple. We qualified 12th there. I'm not going to show everything because it might drag on a little bit. But now Q2, this is where things are going to get much more difficult, I think, for the Force India. I think getting out of Q1 is going to be an aim throughout every race in the season. I think we should probably expect to be able to get out of Q1. And I think that's going to be a sort of a minimum expectation for qualifying throughout the year. For some tracks it'll be harder, and if you get sort of adverse conditions, if there's rain or something, then that may well make it a lot more difficult. So let's have a look at the full circuit here at Melbourne, Albert Park course. Traditionally the first circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, and probably one that most people have practiced quite a fair amount. So just clipping that apex is very easy to go wide of that one.
Sergio's currently in P9.
There's a hint of oversteer on the exit onto this back straight, coming up to the very fast sweeping left-right. Here we go. A bit wide of the apex, a bit tentative, and again on the second apex, definitely could have gained a little bit more. DRS zone here on the back straight. And into the 90-degree right. The lap is looking good. Half a second up at the moment on the Delta. Into the second to last turn. Turn 15. Again, a little bit of a lock up. But we've got through just about okay. Into the final corner. Onto the back straight, onto the main straight. Let's see how this puts us on the grid. Provisionally 10th, just behind Sergio.
If we don't get it to 10th or higher, we won't progress to the shootout. Give it your best shot.
Just trying to get round here, and well, I completely misjudged the time. I didn't get round in time to set a lap. This was my out lap, and well, that's it. I'm gonna qualify 12th. So it wasn't too disappointing. They expected 14th out of me, but you know, if I could have just got around there and done two temps quicker, I could have got into Q3.
New drivers, new cars, and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, and Hülkenberg, Alonso, Magnussen, Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Sergio Perez, Brown, Grosjean, Brendan Hartley, and Van Dorn, Ericsson, Stroll, Carlos Sainz, and Pierre Gasly. Leclerc and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid.
Okay, here we go then. This is it, the beginning of my career. Let's see if we can get away from the line. The lights are out and we are away. Not the best getaway at all. And, well, am I going to get swamped into turn 1? Not quite. I'm going to go deep on the brakes. The space was there. Sergio left the door open around the outside. Just about keeps the position, though. Coming down then towards turn number 3. Again, the space is there to be taken. I'm going to look for that gap. He's left it open. Almost into the back of Verstappen. Just shove our teammate wide. He's actually given us a fair amount of respect. On board with Sergio now. He goes up the inside. Oh, my God. That was never going to work into that turn. And it's caused a massive pile-up behind me. So I've just about escaped with my life. So, wow, Sergio involved in all of that. He went for a move into turn 5. That was never really going to work. And as a result, goes wide onto the grass, comes back onto the middle of the circuit.
Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up.
And wow, caused a massive pile-up. That is, well, it's good news for me. It's not good news for Force India, of course. And, well, a fair few of our competitors are going to have a fair amount of damage now. Charles Leclerc is out of the race. First retirement. Actually, we are down to 18 already. So now sitting in 10th. So on the fringes of the points. Well, I'm in the last points playing position. Sergio is out of the race. You see that just pop up there. So in the teammate intra-team battle, I should win as long as I just stay on the track. So we've got away nicely. Looking at the map, there's a fair gap. And our engineer is telling us, cheers Jeff, that Daniel Ricciardo has an issue. There is a bit of a group forming just ahead. I'm just checking the map, just trying to check the map as much as possible to really understand what the hell is going on. You see there's a group of 4 in front of us. And I think there's a McLaren at the front of that train, presuming that orange means a McLaren on the map. Down to turn 3. So at this point here, just trying to keep it nice and solid, really just trying to grow into the race. As our strategy.
Okay, battery's looking good. You can use overtake to get past.
So as our strategy is mainly just to go quite deep into the race, as far as you can go. It's a one-stop race, and then basically just keep the track position.
Plus 1 lap of extra fuel target, plus 1.
So for those doing a 2-stopper, you know, they're going to have to be more aggressive. I'm going to have the track position once they go in for their second pit stop. So the idea here really is just to try to keep on the tail of this group as much as possible, make sure they don't get too far ahead. Through the 11-12 chicanes, it's going through there very nicely. The game actually feeling very intuitive. I do feel with the Codemasters physics that sometimes you can't feel the car too much, but once you really get immersed into the race, it does feel very, very nice indeed. And now by lap 4, really growing into the race, growing the confidence, as we've really done quite a lot of laps during the practice, during the qualifying, to really get a good indication of what we can do. So a little bit further into the race, this is lap number 6 now. It seems like every time I caught up to this group, who are being held up still by the McLaren, that I made a mistake. Actually no, it's Daniel Ricciardo now at the front of this pack, and our engineer did say that Daniel Ricciardo has some sort of mechanical issue, so that explains why he's holding up such a large group. So winding round into turn number 9, clattering the curb, maybe a little bit too much actually. It's not going to be good for the tyre wear. So again, just checking the fuel mix, the ERS deployment. You have two things to try to keep on top of this time around. As you saw nothing. You saw nothing. So there's two things to try to really keep on top of for the ERS deployment. So there's that big blue bar in the HUD at the bottom right. So that's how much sort of electrical store you have. The group getting up really, really close now. I'm going to look up the inside of Verstappen. Now the Hulkenberg train. Magnussen thinks I'm not having any more to do with this. He bows out into the pit lane. So I gain a position there. And now up into 8th place.
Okay, tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can.
Okay, so a little group here forming. I think Hulkenberg's actually got through. Ricciardo is what is holding everything up at the moment. And a poor exit through turn 2. Brendan Hartley is right behind. You see when it goes to 2 arrows, they're very close.
Our gap behind is 2.9 seconds.
Probably should have defended that a lot more than I did. I went halfway, and I think in reality, once you sort of block half the circuit, most drivers wouldn't go for the move, but Hartley brave enough this time around to go up the inside and up into 8th. So I've been displaced by 1. Gasly now behind. I'm the middle. I'm the meat in the Toro Rosso sandwich at the moment, and there's 2 Red Bulls directly ahead as well. So a good battle here forming, although it's not quite clear at the moment which kind of position we're going to be fighting for at the end of the race. It doesn't always make itself completely apparent until perhaps the last round of pit stops. So into the second DRS, so 3 abreast coming down the back straight. This is absolutely mental. I've gone really narrow up the inside of Verstappen, slight contact wheel to wheel. Ricciardo really slow, and I'm up the inside. This is on board with Max Verstappen now. He's just been slowed down by his teammate. So where are the team orders? Multi-21 Daniel Ricciardo, and actually there he goes. He bows off into the pit lane, about time too. So I've done really well out of that to really kind of just get through that group and just get away. Maybe the AI, sometimes they get sort of stuck to each other and they just drive side by side and can't quite do anything. And I drive really wide into turn 1. That was a bit silly. So now Max Verstappen is going to be on the attack. I'm going to go defensive into turn 3. Is he going to... Oh, actually fakes me out. Max Verstappen with a fake out. Oh my god. Once again, I'm literally the meat in the Toro Rosso Red Bull sandwich now. Into the back of Hartley. He's kind of brake checked me there, mid-turn. So, bit of front wing damage. That's not ideal at all. And a little bit of understeer into turn number 8. That was an unusual one. Sorry, turn number 6 was that. So perhaps a minor piece of the front wing going missing, going for walkabouts. A little bit of downforce missing then from the front. Gasly is going to catch right up with us, and he's done the job. He's really going to force me narrow, and I've gone right into the back of him. That is really clumsy. Probably from the pair of us. It looked like he slowed right down. So that's something, as now I'm trying to work out which buttons on my wheel correlate to which button on the MFD down there.
Understood, copy that.
So we're going to change our strategy here. As you can see now, horrible understeer. Way too much. I can't live with this. I'm going to have to go into the pit lane. Here we go then. We practice this. See, oh, I've braked way too early. Probably could just brake under that Rolex sign. So maybe lost a second there. which isn't good. But I think on the whole, this is the right strategy to do, to change to something different. That front wing was absolutely horrible. You can see that front wing going on to the front of the car, which is, well, it's good news because I'm actually going to be able to turn now, which typically helps in Formula 1, if you can actually turn. Okay, on the exit.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. Receive a penalty for dangerous driving.
Okay, we get passed by Stoffel. So down into 14th. Okay, doesn't look good at the moment, but we'll see how this one develops as the race goes on. So there's still lots of pit stops to be taken by the guys ahead, so it could still work out. So at the moment, you really just got to keep your head down. In Formula 1, you just always have to keep your head down, keep going, always. Never just give up and just say that it's over, because this could still go very well. I'm on the ultra soft tyre now, so we're going to have the speed advantage, or presumably.
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
So we're going to actually turn up the ERS deployment. So once that blue bar is full, you can start really whacking it up. And down the straights, you can absolutely fly it. I mean, they call number 4 the overtake mode. I'm going to kind of demonstrate that right now. Up behind Van Dorn.
Gap to the car behind is 14.4
So deploying rich fuel mode, and I'm going to go to hot lap on the ERS deployment. I'm going to really go to town into the Force India's party mode, flying past Van Dorn. He stood no chance.
Not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Maybe Jeff's talking too much because I'm having to stop talking here while he explains everything. But we continue as we go up into 13th. So Van Dorn got absolutely assaulted back there. He stood no chance. Went full beans on all the settings and just flew past him.
Okay, gap ahead is 9.2 seconds.
So the gap ahead, 9.2 seconds, so quite a big gap. You can see that on the map on the bottom left. So just waiting really for people to start pitting.
Okay. Our main competitors in this race are Van Dorn.
So he's saying there, our main competitor Van Dorn. That is really disappointing to hear because we've just gone past him, and hopefully I'm not just fighting for 13th where I am now. I'm still going to really push as much as possible down into turn 6, braking about just after the 100 metre board, carrying a little bit too much speed in, or perhaps just turning in a little bit too late. Very difficult corners to get right. Braking just after the 100 board here, and into the turn 9. I'm getting all my turns mixed up. A little bit further around the lap, the Toro Rosso's getting a bit of a mix-up, and, well, just forms a roadblock in the middle of the circuit at turn number 14. Still there, and the Mercedes of Bottas can't do anything about it. And here's Max Verstappen into the back of a queue. What is going on here? It's like a McDonald's drive-thru all of a sudden. There's a yellow flag. Carlos Sainz into the back of Verstappen. That is clumsy as hell. And here's me coming round eventually. There's Max Verstappen, plenty of debris on the circuit. Luckily I'm not going to get a puncture out of all of that. Carlos Sainz, clumsy boy. Yellow flag and yellow car going into the back of Max Verstappen, making him retire from the race. That's going to help me massively. I've gained a lot of time over the stupidity of the AI murdering each other. So into turn 1, Max Verstappen is out of the race. So if I can be handed a couple of positions like this, that's going to help. You know, any position you can get from retirements or people just crashing is always good news.
It should be a few laps at least before you start feeling too many tyre issues. They seem in good condition for the time being.
Okay, so tyres, they're okay for now.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the super softs.
But they will begin to start wearing out a little bit too much within a couple of laps. We will have to try to preserve them as much as possible. So at this point here, sitting in 6th place, mainly as virtue of having the more aggressive strategy with a 2-stop. So I will have to come into the pits, and here we go at the end of lap 16. I'm going to have to go to the end on another set here of super softs. As we come in, it's going to be nearly half the race. On the exit,
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
on the exit we just get passed by Hulkenberg, which is not good news. Maybe by about a second. So our in-lap probably not as good as it could have been, and we've lost one position there. Well, we've lost a couple of positions, but we've lost maybe one more than we should have done. So we really just have to try to get onto the back of him. We don't know what his strategy is either. He's on the ultra soft tyre at the moment, so perhaps he is due to come in. We will see if that is the case. So Daniel Ricciardo setting the fastest lap. As we now come through turn 16, the final corner onto the main straight. Hulkenberg just dived into the pit lane. We've got Fernando Alonso for company just behind us, which is never good news. You don't want someone as fast and as aggressive as him right on your tail. As I don't really fancy having to defend right now. I'd rather go on the offensive and try to catch up. So there's a yellow flag here.
Okay, clear.
And Bottas has been murdered on the straight. So that's a free position. You know, I'm getting a lot of free positions here. Sitting in 8th, now 7th. As well, what's happened here? Actually, there was a brief yellow flag. Someone's on the side of the track there, going very slow. Alonso's very close to overtaking. Daniel Ricciardo's just pulled over. I'm up into 7th position, a little bit wide through turn 1. I'm going to have to be defensive now into the run down to turn 3, or will I? Yes, I'm going to go defensive. I've learned my lesson, I think, from Max Verstappen, who sort of dive bombed me here last time around. I'm just about going to keep the position. Is Alonso going to keep his foot in? Not quite, just really trying to judge what that arrow means.
Is 5.7 seconds.
So gap to Gasly is 5.7 seconds. Cheers, Jeff, for the info, as always, man. Really helps me out. A little bit further round. What is the development?
Gap to car in front is 3.9 seconds.
3.9 seconds. Lap 22. So the race nearing the closing stages. You can see actually Gasly's just there. We have a target within eye level. Within eyesight, we can actually see him, which is always a good sign in motorsport. If you can see who you're racing, that's always good.
Gasly ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 3.9 seconds. You're gaining by around 6/10 a lap. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Their time last lap was a 1:28.3.
So gaining about 6/10 per lap. At this rate, I should be there at the end of the race. Very close to maybe around about lap 27-28. So I think the key here really isn't just to push all right now. You still kind of just got to be consistent and just make sure you actually gain those 6/10 a lap rather than making mistakes and gaining only 2/10 per lap, which wouldn't be enough. So down to turn 1, we've got a bit of a conundrum here because, well, we go really deep into turn 1, and this is what I mean. We've got to try and catch up with Gasly, but also at the same time defend from the ever-aggressive Fernando Alonso. Once again, having to go defensive. He doesn't go for the move. We hit the apex nicely. We've covered him off. So I think I can keep him at bay. In the DRS zone, it can be very difficult though. And the AI, they are attacking. They are very attacking. So Fernando Alonso is, he's not going to hang about. He will go for that move if he absolutely has to, and he'll do it around the outside if he has the chance. So hitting the apex nicely. This is lap 25 now. Gasly not far ahead. There's definitely a chance that we can gain one more position. We've definitely got into a good points paying position, mainly as a result of, well, something that you just didn't see there, but also because, well, we've just been very consistent with perhaps just staying on the circuit. There's been lots of retirements. Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas, 3 people who you're going to expect to finish ahead of a Force India. So I mean, without them I'll be 10th at the moment. So into the DRS zone now, actually close enough to, well, I'm less than a second behind Gasly. So with a couple of laps left to go, a little bit too deep, and that's a really, really schoolboy error, as I've lost tons of time there. I was just building up to an assault, and well, I just threw it all away. Of course, when you start using the DRS, you're going to be going into the corner with much more speed, and you have to start braking a little bit earlier, and that's a misjudgment I just made there. So a rookie error, and well, this is the first race of the career mode. You're going to make those kind of mistakes. A gap back to 1.9, so I'm going to have to kind of do all the work again with just a couple of laps left to go. 3 laps left to go after this one. I think we can still do it. It's just I need to stop doing those kind of silly mistakes. So once again, just really trying to manage all the fuel. I'm kind of level on fuel. The only thing I can really manage is the ERS. So what my method here is to go to low, really build up the ERS deployment.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Really build up the ERS deployment. And you can see what I did with Van Dorn earlier. Just go full assault mode. Just go absolutely savage AF and just whack it up to hot lap. Setting 5, maximum revs, party mode, and just go flying past. They just can't do anything about it. So then, onto the main straight. Not within DRS range. It was 1.9 the gap. I think it's come down a little bit. I am on the softer tyre, so I should be able to catch up. So 1.4 the gap. So I've gained half a second in that second half of that lap. Coming through turn 2, down to turn number 3. Really just trying to be consistent. Alonso ominously in our rear view mirror. Not quite close enough this time around. So really just trying to judge those arrows at the bottom of the screen. Is he close enough? Is he not? I don't think he was. Wants it just one arrow. Wants it a faint one arrow. It's not enough. He's not going to go for that move. Once that's 2 arrows, we've really got to start thinking about defending. So then, 7th place with just a couple of laps left to go. Can we go about getting 6th place in our first race, which would be a really good result, and something of course that the team would be really pleased with. My stock within the team will go right up.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
So optimal on fuel, or very, very close on fuel. So now, building up a decent amount of airs. I've gone up to setting 3 just to really get it within range. I've got more than half the deployment left just to fully unleash. So what are we going to do here? Into turn number 9. This is where I overtook Van Dorn. And a massive moment of oversteer. Oh my god, I could have easily put myself into the wall and ended the whole race right there. So just having to back off, losing a bit of momentum. Down the back straight, DRS zone on this back straight now. So I've gone up to a hot lap briefly on the airs deployment. But now this is where I really need to have a good final sector. As we come up to the final lap, this might be my only opportunity to go for a lap, to go for a move on this final lap, because I think the first corner and into turn 3, the best overtaking opportunities around Albert Park. Here we go then, DRS zone, and we've gone up to 5 hot lap setting on the deployment. Flying up the inside, here we go, get it done, hit the apex nicely, and he actually just backs out. So I just kind of ran him narrow on the exit, pulling away, still got the DRS deployment. Kimi Räikkönen has won the race. Well, 0 out of 10 for realism there. I don't know how the hell Kimi Räikkönen's won a race, but we just need to kind of finish this one up, bring the car home, because it looks like Gasly slowed right down after that. He's just totally given up.
Gap to car in front is 15.7 seconds.
Massive gap ahead to Magnussen, 15 seconds ahead. So there's no chance of catching him. It's just really a matter of just bringing the car home, making sure that you don't run out of fuel. If you've got the gap, then you can sort of turn down the fuel setting, and of course the airs deployment, just make sure that's okay as well. And don't lock up, make any stupid mistakes or spins. If you've got the time, then just take it nice and easy. As we come round, we're going to finish 6th place in our very first career mode race. Across the line we go. There we are. Beautiful stuff.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
And who would have guessed it? Steve Brown and 6th. 2 things that go very well together, and you've seen it once
Great
again.
effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. There's errors without making many of your own, and that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Okay, there we go. Kimi Räikkönen winning the first race of the season. Kimi Räikkönen in a Ferrari winning the race. Fair play to him. Lewis Hamilton 2nd. But a good result for me, finishing 6th. And now, of course, plenty of gaining because of the AI getting really into lots of trouble with each other. And of course, teammate crashing out on lap 1. Not good news for Force India on the whole, but I think that's a good result for me. It's not going to be that easy as always, you know. It's not going to always be like that. But wow, there we go, guys. That's the first part of the career mode. Please do join me for the next one. We're going to Bahrain, so a track that I'm not actually as good at, so it might be a lot more difficult. Now, thank you very much for watching. As always, do subscribe for more. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Listen.